The avoidant's psychological fortress appears impenetrable, built to resist traditional forms of connection and intimacy. Yet certain specific qualities bypass their defensive systems entirely, creating involuntary attraction that overwhelms their usual resistance. These aren't manipulation tactics, but genuine psychological triggers that speak directly to the avoidant's deepest unmet needs while simultaneously respecting their core fears. Unshakable self-sufficiency. Nothing captivates an avoidant more than someone who genuinely doesn't need them. When they encounter a person who is complete within themselves, radiating contentment and purpose independent of romantic connection, their nervous system responds with intense curiosity and desire. This self-sufficiency mirrors their own idealized self-image while eliminating their fear of being consumed or depended upon. The avoidant finds themselves magnetically drawn to this emotional independence because it promises connection without the suffocating demands they associate with intimacy. They experience relief and fascination simultaneously, allowing their guard to lower in ways it never does with someone who needs them. Emotional stability that feels like bedrock. The second psychological trigger involves encountering someone whose emotional regulation appears unshakable. The avoidant's nervous system has been shaped by chaos, unpredictability, or emotional overwhelm in their formative years. When they meet someone who maintains calm centeredness regardless of external circumstances, they experience a visceral attraction rooted in psychological safety. This stability doesn't mean emotional numbness, but rather a grounded presence that can hold space for feelings without being consumed by them. The avoidant senses they can finally relax their hypervigilance around this person, trusting that emotional expression won't lead to drama or demands for caretaking. Mystery that respects boundaries. The third turn-on emerges from encountering someone who maintains their own emotional privacy and mystery. When the avoidant realizes someone isn't laying their entire emotional world at their feet, isn't confessing every feeling or demanding constant emotional processing, they feel a thrilling sense of intrigue combined with respect. This quality creates a paradoxical pull. The avoidant suddenly wants to know more, to understand deeper, to breach the other person's walls. They experience their own usual position from the other side, generating empathy and fascination that disarms their typical withdrawal patterns. Authentic indifference to their approval. Nothing penetrates an avoidant's defenses faster than genuine disinterest in winning their validation. When they encounter someone who neither seeks their approval nor seems bothered by their emotional distance, their psychological system short-circuits. They're accustomed to being either pursued or abandoned, but authentic indifference creates cognitive dissonance that captures their complete attention. This person's lack of investment in impressing them or changing them triggers the avoidant's competitive instincts while simultaneously offering the freedom they crave. They find themselves wanting to earn the interest of someone who doesn't need it. Quiet confidence without arrogance. The fifth trigger involves deep self-assurance that doesn't require external validation or constant assertion. The avoidant responds to quiet confidence with intense attraction because it demonstrates emotional maturity without threatening their autonomy. This person's self-belief creates a gravitational pull that makes the avoidant want to orbit closer. Non-reactive responses to their tests. The sixth psychological turn-on appears when someone passes their unconscious tests with grace. The avoidant habitually pushes people away to see who stays, who chases, who breaks. When they encounter someone who neither pursues desperately nor abandons completely, but simply maintains their own center. Regardless of the avoidant's behavior, they experience profound respect that evolves into attraction. This non-reactivity communicates emotional intelligence and self-worth that the avoidant finds irresistible. They recognize they've met someone who won't tolerate mistreatment, but also won't dissolve into neediness at the first sign of withdrawal. The ability to walk away with dignity. The seventh and most powerful trigger is witnessing someone who can leave without drama, manipulation, or attempts to change them. When the avoidant sees someone choosing their own well-being over a one-sided connection, walking away with self-respect intact, they experience an earthquake in their psychological foundation. This dignity and departure communicates value and strength that the avoidant desperately wants to be close to, often realizing too late that they've lost something irreplaceable. The person who can leave becomes the person they cannot stop thinking about,